Greetings, mere mortals, and welcome to Monster Month.
October is when we look at the darker side of G.I. Joe, because believe it or not, there were monsters there. Meet Swamp Rat, a creature that is half man, half rat.
Really? A rat? A rat. We're not exactly off to the most terrifying start here, are we?
This figure was released in 2004 with all original body parts. And the first thing you'll immediately notice is that he's one bald rat. There's a reason for that, of course. It's much easier and faster to sculpt a bald head instead of a full and detailed hairdo.
Hasbro does love to save itself some money.
Speaking of his head, he's got a face mask that looks like it's held in place by nails or teeth. Or maybe the thing it looks most like is stitching onto his flesh. He looks like a cross between a Mortal Kombat ninja and a Xenobite.
I quite approve.
The color scheme of the body itself fits the theme. Gray and sandy colors, with the two parts of the outfit looking like they are stitched or nailed together like the mask. Not sure why he would need knee pads, though.
Now we come to his accessories. And like the old saying goes, the clothes maketh the man. Or rat. Or rat man. Whatever.
But before the clothes, we'll start with the weapons. He has two knives that neatly fit in the sheaths on his upper legs. Nicely done. There's also a rifle, and while it looks really cool, in fact, it may be one of my favorite weapons in G.I. Joe, the figure's hands aren't sculpted to accommodate it. I'm worried the thumb will snap off if I use the thing.
Anyway, I promised clothing.
He has a helmet that fortunately covers up his bald noggin. Unfortunately, it really doesn't remind me of a rat. If anything, it reminds me of Night Owl from Watchmen. So, an owl then. Weird. He also has a tattered cape that's really neat. It's got great detailing, making it look like it has layers, and the Cobra logo almost hidden on it. It truly does complete the look of the figure, and you really get a sense of it being a scavenger this way.
There is one more accessory, and it's just the worst. Or the best, depending on how you look at it.
He has a tail! A tail! Why does he have that? I mean, I get it with the whole rat motif, but what use could it possibly have? By the way, the tail doesn't attach to the figure itself. There's a hole in the cloak where it fits. It's a good solution, since if you happen to lose the tail, it doesn't look like there's a piece missing. Overall, this is a pretty cool figure, helped or hampered by the tail depending on how you view the thing. The stitching is nicely creepy, but they could have gone for a different kind of helmet. There were a few more repaints of this figure, but Timmer is far too cheap to get them, So this is the only toy we're looking at. And since this rat guy is from 2004, there's no classic cartoon or comic series to look at. That just leaves us with the toy packaging and the file card.
First off, Swamp Rat was part of a 2-pack.
Yeah, Hasbro was really keen on 2-packs for a few years there. It no doubt saved a bundle on packaging costs. In this case, the other figure in the pack was Alpine. Sure, that makes sense. But the freaking Mountaineer in a Versus pack with a Swamp Infiltrator. They are sure to meet often on the battlefield. This is that Ultimate Enemies fiasco all over again. In fact, in this case, it would actually make sense to have Muskrat in the pack because of their similar names and because they're both swamp fighters.
But why bring logic into it at this point?
This guy was part of the Valor vs. Venom line. A time when Cobra was going through this whole Island of Dr. Moreau phase, where they bonded human and animal DNA to create better warriors. Not the most original premise, I grant you, but this is Hasbro we're talking about, so what did you expect? Swamp Rats are Cobra volunteers, or captured civilians, who have been bonded with, well, swamp rats. They can compress their bodies to fit through smaller sewers, and can eat things even vultures would get sick from. So, they're extreme carrion creatures. They have better night vision and hearing, as well as an acute sense of smell.
You know, if I was forced to crawl through sewers and subside on dead rotting animals, I probably wouldn't have opted for the heightened sense of smell.
The main problem I have with these guys is, why rats? Rats aren't really that scary. Hell, the first thing you probably think about when human-rat hybrids come up is Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Or maybe Ronald Rat if you're British. Not very terrifying, is it? In conclusion, the figure is pretty cool, but the character isn't really much of a monster.
I mean, it's a rat. Those are just cute, adorable little things. I'm gonna have to do better next week.